coverage of the Pennzoil Nationals is brought to you by Transitions Lenses. Right in any light and right for you. Welcome back to Richmond. Alan Reinhardt along with Bob Fry. As we see Mike Gunderson, the points leader, getting ready to take on Don Fiorelli.
Gunderson is off to a great start with national event wins under his belt, divisional wins under his belt. He's piling up the points where he needs to, and this is a run, to be perfectly honest about it, Alan, that he should win. Fiorelli's a good competitor, been doing this for a long while, but if you take a look at the numbers over the last 2 days of qualifying and eliminations, Mike Gunderson should win this race.
I agree with you. I think the rest of the Federal Mogul dragster drivers may have made a mistake when they let Gunderson win that national event earlier down in Houston. You saw that right here on Speed World. Mike had done very well on the divisional trail, had some final round showings in national events, but I think stepping over the threshold, getting that first win, has given him some confidence, and there may be no stopping that guy now.
Fiorelli's got a shot to do it right now, but he is going to have to be really on his game. He was all over the track in the opener, 7-10. Jeannie Booz crashed her car in the other lane in that opening round, and she was okay, but Don's going to have to step up and give one of those numbers that we've seen from him on the divisional and national level over the past couple of years.
Bob, you called it for Fiorelli, just not enough race car, and a 5.62 for Gunderson. He could be on a collision course with that Reichert guy, 248 miles an hour. Gunderson really running hard here in round two.
And here's Ashley now. Number 7 finished last year in 2005, trying to look at 2006, much in the same way her dad is in the Nitro Funny car.
Every time I get in that car, you know, you get the adrenaline rush. They put me in, they strap me in, and they let me kind of sit there for a little bit. I kind of think about, you know, what I'm about to do and who I'm running against. When I pull up to stage, that's when you'll hear the cars become louder. I pull my fuel levers to full. That's when the car is wanting to go, and I'm holding on as tight as I can to the brake. Yeah, 3,500 horsepower that wants to get down the track, so you got to keep it contained until you want it to. Everything outside of my vision looking down the track is just a blur. I mean, the stands, the lights, the other car, it's kind of all just fuzzy. With these cars, I mean, they go so fast, and there's so many parts working so quickly together. It's amazing to me that they don't blow up more often. That's probably one of the worst things that could happen to a driver. My dad's been in so many fires and crashes and flipped over, and he's always been fine. So you just got to trust your team and yourself that you'll be okay.
In round one, Ashley's got a tough opponent, Don Fiorelli in the near lane.
Just jump in. We got it. Go in.
Silence on the PA system doesn't indicate one way or another exactly what's going on down there. We know the safety authorities on scene, all the medical personnel available here at the National Hot Rod Association, and we'll let you know exactly what's going on down there at the finish line.
You know, from the starting line, you can't really see all the way down the track where her car is at because it's only like maybe 6 seconds, 270 miles an hour. And I just like freaked out.
Her car was making one heck of a run, and I saw he was in trouble, and all of a sudden it makes this right turn that was just unimaginable, and he come across and he hit the wall head on. And I mean, it just exploded into nothing. They're so busy like, oh my God, look at the other guy. Forget about the other guy. Let's look for our kid. Make sure she's safe.
We know the safety authorities on scene, all the medical personnel available here at the National Hot Rod Association.
I don't even want to look. When we went by, the ambulance was there, the helicopter, like, this guy could be dead. That was a major crash. And I was thanking God it didn't get her. But I thought, could have something come off the car? It scared the hell out of me, because that's my baby out there. It's terrifying. I was just like, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Our baby girl was okay. Jerry, sorry about the holdup back there. I'm sorry, okay? He must not have known it was coming apart.
Well,
they say he's out. He's okay. He's okay. There was no time for you to be slow.
no, it's a good
job.
thing.
Way to be on time.
You know what?
There was no time to be late.
Well, I don't ever plan to be.
You really got T-boned. You're doing bad.
Okay, well, I can't take much more of this. This last run, you should have seen us on the starting line. We're screaming because your light comes on and screaming because this guy is coming across the track. You were fortunate. I'm glad you got a leg foot.
Ask a Pro, where you, the viewer, become the pit reporter. Brought to you by SummitRacing.com. Log on today to order your free catalog.
This week's Ask a Pro question comes from Scott Neiman out on the West Coast. And Scott wants to know, does altitude make a difference in quarter-mile racing? Well, fun you should ask that, Scott. Don Fiorelli is going to race his Federal Mogul Dragster here at an altitude track at Bristol. Don, you've been doing this for a while. What changes, if any, do you have to make to compensate for the altitude?
Well, the altitude becomes a major factor for all the cars that run. We work with a weather station that we correct the altitude by using barometric pressure as well as true altitude number and the temperature, and all those are computed, and then as an end result we make our fuel changes, and in some cases on some of the blowers where you can change the overdrives, you'll speed the blower up to compensate for poor air or worse altitude. Our particular car runs a Whipple charger, and we can only run a maximum overdrive, so at that point we have to do it all with the fuel compensation, timing, and in that area. But yeah, it is a major factor, and that's what makes the difference if you know, win or lose a race, those few hundreds. Absolutely.
And that's why the crew chiefs get paid the big bucks. Hope that answered your question, Scott. Folks, if you'd like to have a question on Ask a Pro, email us at heat@nhra.com. And unlike Scott, make sure you put your name and address on this so we can send you that snappy-looking Summit Racing hat. By the way, Jordan Moore, Ryan Corbett, and Eunice Teen, you won hats earlier. We don't have your address. Please contact us at heat@nhra.com.